Welcome to Magic Hour Talk Show, episode 26. I am your host, Paul Chappell. And guys, we had a pretty boring week if you disregard all the coups and impeachments and whatnot going on with our government. Oh my God. Is this experiment known as the United States of America going to last? That is the question. Well, it's not up for me to debate. I am in the entertainment business. So let's talk about some entertainment. First of which I want to mention, kind of made me a little excited and a little bit worried. Ubisoft Massive is making an open world Star Wars game. Now I'm assuming they're going to make an open world Star Wars game like Grand Theft Auto and not a massive multiplayer like Star Wars Galaxies, because Star Wars Galaxies type massive multiplayer thing had problems, particularly with everybody wanting to be a Jedi. If they're going the Grand Theft Auto route, I could see it being very, very good game, because here's the thing. If you watch The Mandalorian, and if you watch this channel, you probably have, you will know that The Mandalorian has a template that kind of resembles most open world games. That is, you go on quest. Just about every episode this last season, season 2, Mando would land on the planet. He'd be looking for something. I think in the first episode, he's looking for a Jedi or something. No. The first episode, he's looking for a Mandalorian. The Mandalorian has Boba Fett's armor. He doesn't want to give it back unless Mando helps him with a quest to kill a crate dragon. Mando accepts, and by the end of that episode, spoilers if you haven't already seen this season, he gets Boba Fett's armor back. Then another episode, he goes to find a Jedi and he meets up with a bunch of Mandalorians. They tell him they know where a Jedi is, but he must first help them in a quest to infiltrate this Imperial ship, which he does. So it just goes on and on and on. And then he finds Ahsoka Tano. And of course, she makes him assist her in this quest to take the baby Yoda. And then, of course, she doesn't even take him. But that whole season, that whole last season, season 2, was a bunch of quests. And it pretty much set up what could be a viable way to make a game. Now, they don't reveal many details in it, but I'm assuming, as this article does, that EA, their deal with Disney and Lucasfilm is coming to an end, because I heard reports that EA, or I think they even announced that the EA had an exclusive arrangement with Lucasfilm to make games, and they did that with Battlefront 1 and 2. They did it with The Fallen Jedi, whatever, and then recently with that Squadrons game. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come. I'm hoping that, yes, their exclusive deal is over, so some of these other companies can take a stab at creating Star Wars properties again. I'll be really, really interested to play this game. Now, that's assuming, of course, they don't go the route. I think they probably go with making the main character a Jedi. Maybe they should do what Grand Theft Auto 5 did and have like different characters, 3 different characters, one a Jedi, one a bounty hunter, like, a Mandalorian bounty hunter, and the third maybe a stormtrooper or something, or a TIE fighter pilot, something along those lines. And somehow they're involved in this same little universe, interacting the way the characters from Grand Theft Auto interacted. If you remember Franklin and Michael and Trevor, their paths were crossing at different points, and sometimes they did heists together, and you could switch between the characters. I like that whole dynamic. If they could do something like that, I could definitely see this being a big deal. Here's one of the major problems. Grand Theft Auto is confined to one city and is basically an island. The problem I foresee is, how are they going to do multiple planets? Or are they going to do multiple planets? How are they going to do the space part of the open world? Now, I can go back a little bit to what they did with Star Wars Galaxies. The maps, I'm just reading here that there was originally 10 planets in Star Wars Galaxies, represented by approximately 225 square kilometers. Now, that made sense because you had thousands of people playing the game. Now, but if you're having just one player open world game, they're gonna need to be a little bit less ambitious. I think they should make each world maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 miles in diameter or something. Something very small, so you can get to a planet, you can explore it, maybe have 2 cities at the most and they have to be kind of small cities. I think they would have to start small too. Maybe choose 3 planets that you can go to. Maybe Coruscant and Tatooine. They're going to need something on the outer rim, something in the inner rim or the core planets, and another planet. I don't know what that could be. Maybe Corellia, Naboo, something like that. But they could definitely do something with this. But it also depends on what period of the Star Wars universe they're going to explore. Is it going to be the prequel time period? Is going to be after Return of the Jedi? Is going to be before, A New Hope, between the prequel and the original trilogy? Is going to be Force Awakens? There's so many questions that I haven't been able to answer from this article about it. But it is a good idea, I think. Their primary problem is going to be one of scale. You can't scale the Star Wars universe without things getting repetitive. So I just think if they could cut it down, like I said, have a few characters, but not over 5, no less than 3, I think it could actually work. And then, of course, I think later they could even expand to an online multiplayer type thing the way they did. Basically, what I'm saying is they should follow that Grand Theft Auto model. I mean, that model has worked so well that Rockstar isn't even coming out with Grand Theft Auto 6 anytime soon. They're actually continuing this game on the PS5 when it started on the PS3. I think this is the first game in history that has been on 3 or will be on 3 consoles. So just my thoughts. If you read some of the comments on this article on Kotaku, you got a bunch of people giving ideas. Some people saying they should make it like the latest Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla, which I didn't play. This guy right here says Jedi are assassins, Sith are Templar. There are powerful relics and devices that could turn the tide of battle. I think that's actually a pretty good idea. If you think about the elements that make up a good Star Wars story or game, you got the Jedi, of course. You got the Outer Rim planets. You got the lawlessness. You got pilots and space battles and all of that kind of stuff. You got races. And if you think about it, Grand Theft Auto has all of those elements itself, especially the races. You could race, you could go to strip clubs, you could go to a golf course. There's so many things they could do. So looking forward to seeing where this goes. Moving on to some rumors. And I've seen this twice on comicbook.com, and I saw it on Screen Rant. This article has been sourced by a bunch of websites saying that Captain America's or Chris Evans, that is eyeing a return to the MCU. He's going to reprise his role in a future Marvel project. This article really doesn't give us a whole lot to go on. Not a lot of details. It just says sources tell Deadline that Chris Evans is cleaning out the dust of his Captain America attire as he's expected to reprise the role in the MCU in some form. Now, this could be as simple as him just showing up in the Winter Soldier series. I mean, think about it. Steve Rogers didn't actually die in Endgame. So I don't see why he couldn't show up in the future. Be perfectly reasonable. Now, there is, I think they could reasonably include him in a future movie if they do something with this multiverse thing that they've been hinting about with the latest Spider-Man movie. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens too, because I think Chris Evans did it better than anybody could do it. I mean, he did that role so well. Both him and Robert Downey Jr., they did their roles so well that I can't think of other actors doing the role. I mean, they were just that good. In fact, I think there's a lot of superheroes that did the role so well. Even Mike Ruffalo doing Hulk and Bruce Banner. You know, even though someone else, Edward Norton, did do that role, I just think he just killed it. And then you got Thor, of course. You got Chris Hemsworth and Nick Fury. Yeah. So I can also see them rebooting Captain America at some point. They're going to have to, right? But they're going to have to get somebody really good to fill Chris Evans' shoes. So we'll see where this rumor goes. But I definitely think it's kind of a Disney Plus type rumor. He's got to appear in the Falcon and Winter Soldier at some point as his old self, if nothing else. Moving on to something a little bit funner. Funner. Is it a word? Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, you probably seen these memes of people redoing this that scene in Grand Theft Auto where Lamar Rose Franklin. Well, we have a meme to finish all the other memes in the fact that they got the original voice actors from Grand Theft Auto 5 to do this meme. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and play that.
What's up? Can a low come up in your crib?
Man, fuck you, nigga. I see you at work.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of the old yee-ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Nah, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass and she quit fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with. Nigga.
What?
I just love that. I don't know. I watched this over like 10 times, I swear. It's just the fact that those voices, I've imprinted those in my head on those particular characters, and to see the real guys actually doing the voices in real life, it's amazing. It's just so amazing. What is it? Slink Johnson and Sean Fonteno. If you want to watch this, it's at PlayStation Haven on YouTube. I thought that was so great. God bless them for somehow they got these guys together to do that. They even did the camera angles really well. And last but not least, and I sincerely hope this is the last time I have to mention this crazy woman, Maya Ponsetto, but they have released video of her second DUI in Los Angeles. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing, but it just gives you an idea of what kind of special person she is and why, once again, I suspect that she's just crazy, not racist, but I'll let the video speak for itself.
It's to protect her in case anything happens between them.
Okay, so I think you get the gist of what's going on here. She's resisting arrest heavily. Another girl, and I don't know why people do this when they see cops arresting somebody, a friend or daughter, or I think in this case this is actually her mother, because I think she says, "Oh, that's my daughter. Let me replay that. But trying to interrupt the arrest, you can be arrested for doing that. That's obstruction. I don't understand. I've seen so many, and this, I mean, black people have done it too. I've seen videos where black people do it, but it seems to be a thing that white people do quite often. The fact that she asked for a warrant, people just don't understand the law, and I wish they would stop asserting rights they don't even have when they're being arrested. But
I'm not doing anything wrong. You are just coming here for no reason. Oh my God. You are just detaining me for no reason.
yeah, she actually said, "That's my daughter." Once again, you can see the level of privilege in the way she's reacting. I didn't do anything wrong. She perpetually never does anything wrong, it looks like. I mean, it's just something that's very consistent from this incident with the teenager and his phone. So, wow.
Like a criminal, I didn't do anything. I'm not even laughing. I'm like, I just think you guys are like a joke. There are like gang members that are killing people right now, and you're arresting us.
There are literally gang members killing people right now. And y'all, these people. So, moving on, the second part of her interview with Gayle King was aired the other day. And let me just go ahead and play it. Why not?
This morning, we are sharing more of our exclusive interview with a woman whose confrontation with a black teenager in a New York hotel was caught on camera over the holidays. Cell phone video shows Mia Ponsetto accusing 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr. of stealing her iPhone last month. Ponsetto was arraigned over the weekend and freed on supervised release. She is charged with attempted robbery, attempted grand larceny, endangering the welfare of a child, and attempted assault. Well, we spoke with Ponsetto and her attorney, that's Sharon Gatan, just hours before her arrest last week. This morning, we began where we left off on Friday. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone.
Okay, so
that's the thing.
Do you want to get to that part?
You're saying, look,
Because
I'm
the
22 years
hotel
old.
did
You're
have
22
my phone.
years old, but you are old enough to know better.
Oh, the hotel
So I will
did
say
have
you're
my...
22.
All right,
I
Gail,
get it.
Enough. The hotel did have my phone. The hotel did end up having my phone. I did get my belongings returned to me. So maybe it wasn't him, but at the same time, how is it so that as soon as I get asked to leave the premises after I had accused this person of stealing my phone, how is it that all of a sudden they just miraculously have my phone when I come back? And it didn't seem as if my accusations really bothered the son and the father, because they were just enjoying a nice meal right after this whole encounter. But all I'm saying,
I don't know if you, Mia,
is I want
don't
this
know
to
if
be
you could
over,
say what,
and I'm sorry.
whether they were
so I
bothered
would love
by
to
your,
make this short and
I don't
sweet,
know if you
Gail.
could- Mia, I want to go back to that day. Take us back to that day. We've all seen the video.
Okay, so I arrived back to the hotel after grabbing some Starbucks. I had noticed my phone had been missing, so I just approached the hotel manager, asked him if he could kindly just check the footage. In my opinion, I was like, okay, any person walking down could possibly be the person that might have had my phone. I wasn't racial profiling whatsoever. I'm a woman. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like a woman of color. I'm Italian, Greek, Puerto Rican.
You keep saying you're Puerto Rican. Does that mean that you can't be racist because you're saying you're a woman of color? Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Well, I would disagree that people of color can be racist too. Do you believe that you should pay a price for this?
I don't feel that my accusation is a crime.
But it's more than the accusation. It's the way that you tackled him, it seems, on the videotape. What would you do differently? You said that you look at that tape and that's not who you are.
I think I could have just asked the hotel manager. So yes, I could have stepped aside, or the father and I. We immediately could have started just speaking at a lower tone, and probably that would have handled the whole situation a lot better.
With all due respect, when Mr. Harold was talking to you, it seemed to me that he was responding to you because you had accused his son.
I'm saying that both of us. I said both of us.
You see two black people?
No, I'm not letting him walk away with my phone.
Bottom line is this issue is much bigger than I think Mia is appreciating, and she sees it as a very simple thing.
Attorney Sharon Gatan sat with Ponsetto through the entire interview and wanted her client to feel empowered to tell her own story. But Gatan also felt it important to provide context on Ponsetto's state of mind at the time of the incident.
So let me just boil it down. She was a 22-year-old woman alone in New York. No one is with her. Her entire contacts, flight arrangements, Wi-Fi, emails, Apple Pay, her funds, her money is all on that phone. She agreed that her behavior and her actions were definitely less than elegant, shall we say, and less than graceful and less than what anyone else would do, and she agreed, and she wouldn't have repeated it.
It's been reported that your phone was returned to you by an Uber driver. Is that true?
That is not true because I arrived to the hotel with my phone in my hand.
Okay, who returned your phone to you?
The hotel receptionist.
Mia, where had the phone been?
Why don't we ask the hotel receptionist?
Mia, to be honest, I'm telling you, you seem to be not remorseful, to have no contrition, that you're almost a little flippant about this. You have to understand, for this teenage boy who says that he was shattered, who said that he was traumatized, this is a big
traumatized.
deal. You're traumatized too because...
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. He is honestly, he's 14. That's what they're claiming. Yeah, I'm 22. I've lived probably just the same amount of life as him. Like, honestly, I'm just as a kid at heart as he is. I feel sorry that I made the family go through like all of that stress, but at the same time, it wasn't just them going through that.
I just don't think that you helped yourself by your behavior.
Of
when
course
you looked
not.
at that video, what did you think? What did you think, Mia, when you looked at the video?
You already asked me that in the beginning of the interview. I'm not
Okay.
going over it again. I would like to have a real interview with real questions and real heart and real sincere apologies. Let 2021 be the moment of healing. Seriously.
All right. What would you want an interview with real questions? What would you? I'll give you the floor. What would you like us to know, Mia?
That I'm sincerely sorry to the family, and the dad and the son for making them feel as if I was racist towards them when that is not my intention.
Now, during the interview, Ponsetto kept interrupting her attorney, and Sharon Gatan says her client went off script. According to her lawyer, Ponsetto was prepared for this interview. They had talked about it. They had gone over it. But the 22-year-old, she says, decided to disregard her advice she was given and just went on her own. Mia Ponsetto was due back in court in March. I really felt for the attorney. We cut out a lot of it because I think you already get a sense of Mia Ponsetto. But there was a very interesting exchange between the attorney and Mia at one point, and we just decided just to let it go. But the attorney says, look, she's concerned about her mental health and her well-being, and she, of course, wishes her well. And I could see why she is concerned. The attorney worked very, very hard to try to guide her client during the interview, and it just... I think it's hard when you have a client that doesn't pay attention to what you're saying. I think that's very difficult.
It's difficult to sit there in silence while your client essentially gets herself in trouble. And judging by the backlash over the weekend to the first part of your interview, it was not received well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Mia really understands the gravity of this situation yet. I'm still not convinced.
Once she was arrested, I think she probably figured that out.
But we're in the keep shoveling, the
Yeah.
hole's getting deeper stage of things still here.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't think we saw anything new in this interview. I mean, I'd already talked about her being Puerto Rican. She's clearly not remorseful. That's the biggest thing I think you could come away with this. I don't think she understands what she did. In her mind, everything she did was very reasonable, and she can't understand, hey, I just accused somebody of stealing my phone, and I stopped and got my phone back. What's the problem? I got my phone back. I feel fine now. What's the big deal? I just accused somebody. She just doesn't understand the ramifications of accusing somebody of something without evidence. Just proximity to something. These people were going to breakfast and just passing through the lobby, and they get accused of something that they clearly did not do, and she doesn't understand the ramifications of that. I think she has some kind of personality disorder. Maybe she's borderline personality. Maybe she's bipolar. Maybe there's something. And her whole comment about being just a kid at heart, being just as much as a kid as the well, they said he was 14, but she really wanted to see. Well, I think he looked a lot older because, you know, black kids are once they turn 13, they all look like grown men to, I think, people of other races. I'll just leave it at that. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to be said about this. I think she obviously needs help. She has some mental health issues, and I hope she gets the help she deserves. But I also hope that, I mean, they're not going to do anything to her, really. She'll probably get off with more probation or something. Maybe she'll serve a couple months in prison, but whatever it is, it's not going to be too harsh. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I'd like to thank my subscribers and encourage you, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Ring that bell if you're already a subscriber so you know when my next video drops, and I will see you when I see you. Thanks for watching.